Hey Thorn and all the rest of you guys watching this. Um, okay, so first off, before I start the video, let me say that I'm gonna be looking down here because this is a video response to Drawing Keenaz, I think is how you pronounce the channel name. Her name is Thorn, so hi Thorn. Um, yeah, this is a video response to your video explaining why you don't believe in karma and the threefold law. So I made a bunch of notes here on my computer, so I'm going to be looking down here probably the majority of the time reading my notes, so that I can keep on track with all my points. So yeah, basically, yeah, I just said it. This is a video response, to why you don't subscribe to the ideas of karma and the threefold law. And I'm going to refer to karma just as you did, as in the understanding of the word, meaning that what you put forth, you get back. So, first off, just kind of off subject, I did want to say that I did agree with your opinion about Buddhism and Wicca being very opposite on the religious scale as far as what they're all about. However, of course, without mixing the two religions together, I feel that there are actually some really impressive and helpful moral teachings that come from from the Buddhist religion. Um, that are good to incorporate into an eclectic Wiccan practice. But yes, I do agree that they're, they as individual religions are very unsimilar. But anyway, so first off, and on topic, I don't mean that any of this as a debate. I just want to throw my opinion out towards you, just to see if you can catch my meaning. Just as someone who does subscribe to the ideas of karma and the threefold law and stuff. So at the beginning of your video, you stated that you did not believe in karma and the threefold law in part because you don't see them in play around you, like in your life, or in the peoples around you. Um, or you also brought up the point that sometimes people just suffer. And then you had gone on to say that you were offended by the notion that people were somehow earning their suffering. Now, I do agree with you as far as the statement that sometimes things just happen to people, but then I felt as you went on that everything was sort of going a little bit out of context. For the most part, and this is how I follow the beliefs of karma and the threefold law, and so do the people that I know that follow the beliefs of karma and the threefold law. Um, we don't believe that you earn everything. I know that there are people who do think that, but personally, I think that the arguments that those people make have very little strength at all. Um, so anyway, moving on. This is where I felt that it went out of context with what you were talking about. The analogies that you were using were things like try telling a rape victim or somebody whose baby died that this is a result of their karma, and then you said that nobody deserves to get raped or murdered or live in poverty. Now, my reaction to that first is that not everybody who is a victim of something is a good person. Um, and by that I mean to say that if someone has raped or murdered or done things that are equal to those sort of actions, I feel that the universe has every right to come back and put forth a result where those people end up getting raped or murdered. That is, at least if, they have avoided arrest or any other form of legal justice. But I don't think that somebody who didn't pay their water bill or who snuck into a club or who didn't pay for a meal, deserves to get raped or murdered. I think that's where it all kind of went out of line. As far as the threefold law, it's like if you do something bad, you're gonna get something, like something bad will happen to you. But the way you made it sound, it came off as saying that there's no limit to how much you will get back, which isn't true. Like, if you didn't pay for a steak dinner, your baby isn't gonna die. Um, I mean, come on, your baby's not gonna die if you didn't pay for a steak dinner. You only get harmed. You only get harmed as much as you have harmed, if that makes sense, and vice versa. You get as much good as you've given. But of course, I mean that isn't to say that karma and the threefold law determine everything in life. And some people may be asking why. it's because we're people. We're human beings, and we make choices before any universal laws can come into play. Because to get results, we have to choose our actions. Because we have free will, and otherwise nothing would happen. And nobody needs me to tell them, that people make bad choices. And, sometimes people make good choices. But whatever sort of choice they make, it sometimes puts us in the spotlight, whether that be good or bad. And so sometimes their choices affect us and do things to us. And that's not always because of the threefold law. And like, here's how I think of it. Um, in school, you learn that there's the action and the reaction. And people think that's all there is, but here's how it goes, okay? There are two people or two sides or groups of people involved, and this is a figure of speech. And then there's the universe and what it decides to do. So three, to me personally, means that there's an add-on to that school lesson. There's the action, the reaction, and then there's Mother Nature who's going, all hell nah. Is basically, yeah. So, I mean, that's kind of how you have to think of it if you follow the beliefs of karma and the threefold law. Um, you have to have the understanding that because people will make random choices, sometimes things just happen, and the universal laws will not come into play until after decisions are made. Um, and often even until after events have played out. And of course, that's nothing against you or anybody else. Um, it's not like you can get a pre-punishment or a punishment directly after you've made a bad decision. I mean, you can get warnings, but you can't get a punishment before you've made the bad decision. The reason that things play out before punishments or rewards are like given is because, like, once we make decisions, we have to live them. And, then we have to deal with the universal laws so that we can understand why our decisions were good or bad. Um, and of course, obviously my apologies to the abusive relationship that you had mentioned. Just try to keep in mind some of the things that I've previously just said. So that's sort of my response to your video. I just wanted to say that you said that you were going to refer to karma as in the understanding of the word, meaning that what you put forth you get back. But I think that maybe you had more of an understanding or like more of an insight on the Buddhist meaning of the word as opposed to the Neo-Pagan understanding and the Neo-Pagan practice of it. Um, but I mean, I could be wrong. You may perfectly well have been aware of everything that I just said and you just don't agree with it. But that just wasn't the impression that your video gave off. Um, and of course, this video was by no means an attempt to get you to believe any of this if you don't want to. And it wasn't an argument. It was just my thoughts. So I hope you enjoyed this, Thorn, and can't wait for your next video because I love watching them. So I'll see you and all the rest of you who have watched this. I'll see you all later. So I love you and see you around. Bye.